Black Belt here. I'd like to welcome you to part 3 of the US Loadouts series that I'm doing, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Johnson LMG. So here we are on my Johnson guy. He's pretty much been my LMG guy. I'm thinking about making a new character with the 1919, but he has both, obviously. But so today we're going to look at the 1941. Take a look at the mods I have on it here and some suggested loadouts. You might notice I got mines on here, but I really wouldn't recommend rolling with mines. The only reason I have them, I'm using them on here is because I'm grinding to get the stickies. So I'm just grinding my tank destruction by walking onto a tank and placing the mines on top of the tank and shooting the mines. So yeah, it's a little bit of a ghetto way to do it, but that's the way I'm going to do it. But one of the interesting things about the Johnson is that it's a 6-slot LMG, which leaves you open to a lot of possibilities here. So take a look at this. Just look at the mods we've got here. I'm running stock ammunition. I prefer stock because I find it has the best stability. Obviously, the other ones just seem to make it a little too unstable for me. And really, the stock damage has ammunition has good damage already. And I'm using field adjusted sights just to really tighten it up a little bit. You can see this the yellow circle here. Really kind of tighten it up. No trigger, no spring, so we're at stock RPM. I have tried it with trigger before, and I found that it really doesn't seem like it makes that much of a difference to me. But just so you know, this gun has a maximum of 800 RPM, so with the trigger it'll bring it up to 720, and then if you add the spring, that'll pop it up to 800, so that'll be the max RPM. And then I do have the stainless steel barrel equipped, just to tighten it up a little more. You could use the chrome line barrel, but the damage is so small that I really don't think it's super necessary to use, so I just have the stainless steel. And I do run 2 ammo pouches because with only 120 rounds, you run out of ammo pretty quickly. So I use the extra ammo pouch, which does put you up to 7 equipment points. But with 6 equipment points, if you're just using the 1 pouch, there's a lot of options open for you with this weapon. So you could run something like a pistol and nades along with it if you wanted to. But because I'm using the 7th equipment point, that's going to limit the other items that I can run with this guy. So, like I said, it'll probably be Johnson and sticky nades eventually, which would leave 1 space open for, I don't know, maybe a knife or something like that. So, I mean, that is an option. You could use, I don't know why you'd use binoculars. You could maybe run a wrench. I think that's 1 equipment point. Yeah. So there's a few options for you to run with this if you want to do that. But yeah, so 6 equipment points. It's kind of unique for an LMG. The only other LMG that has this is the FG42, which is not available to infantry. So that gives infantry with the Johnson a huge advantage here. As far as badges go, it's got a really slow reload. So I believe the reload's 4.1 seconds. So I like to run fast reload gold here. Unfortunately, the images aren't showing up correctly. But you can see this is 40% faster. So that is fast reload gold. Took me a day of grinding up the SMG ribbon with the grease gun. Just throw a ribbon booster on there. And it isn't too bad of a grind. It kind of sucks, but ribbon boosters are your friends. So yeah, just got the grease gun. Picked it up to 600 RPM and grinded my way to max SMG assault. So, and that'll get you that fast reload ribbon. And then other thing I got on here is heavy set. If you only got 1 badge slot, I highly recommend the fast reload over the heavy set. Heavy set's not really necessary. It's more of a if you have an extra badge slot, slap it on there. So I like to run heavy set myself, and it's just heavy set silver right now, as I have a few more ribbon levels to go until I get to gold, so it'll be a while. But heavy set silver is nice. It'll protect you against infantry snipers. So, but the fast reload really is kind of a must in order to be really effective at CQC with this thing. This is a really powerful weapon, but that 4.1 second reload can really limit you if you don't have. Sorry, it's actually 4.3 seconds. So yeah. That is a limiting factor. It's a pretty long reload for only having a 20 round magazine. So But at this point, I'd like to get into some gameplay with you, so I'm going to mute my mic and I'll find a match, and hopefully we can get a decent match to show off, and then we'll take a look at the results, and that'll conclude for today. So without further ado, I'll see if we can get a match. Be right back. Alright, so as you can see, that wasn't a bad little match there, and the Johnson really can put out some power at close range and you know, medium distances as well. So it's a formidable opponent for people that have to face it. So and you can see, I mean, it wasn't a too bad of a little skirmish, a 17-2, so pretty short little match, but you know, it was still, I feel like it was a fairly decent demonstration of the Johnson. And you can make some pretty decent credits for it too. I mean, you can see, you know, a little over 3,000 without the veteran membership and about 4,000 with it. And probably only, yeah, about lost 419 credits. So it's very cheap, you know, depending on the mods that you have, obviously. But, you know, these are, this is a pretty good setup for me and my playstyle. So, you know, consider changing the mods around or whatever to suit the needs of you and your playstyle, but this tends to be a fairly cheap build that I like to use. So anyway, that's going to conclude today's episode, so I hope you enjoyed. It's a little short, but not much to say, really. I mean, the Johnson's one of the best, you know, guns in the game at the moment, so definitely I'd recommend getting your hands on it. It is kind of a hefty price tag. It's about 217,000 credits. But, you know, it is a really good gun, and it's worth every credit. So I hope you enjoyed. This is Little Black Belt out. Have a great day, folks.